We want to thank you for being here. We recognize the commitment that you're taking to pursue excellence. You're just one step closer to achieving success. And the Institute is here to help at every step, wherever you are in your business journey. We've helped thousands of shops over decades and across the nation, from service advisor and manager training to a shop that's just starting out, or even those who are planning their growth, scaling from 10 to 20 to 30 locations. Those that are preparing for private equity sale, or even those that are succeeding their business to the next generation. The Institute and our many coaches with years of experience, both from inside and outside the industry, are here to provide education and tools to get you on your way. You do not have to do this alone. We hope you enjoy the content to come. For a better business, a better life, and a better industry, the Institute.
Good morning, my friend. It's good to see you. Good to be here with you at this fabulous Wednesday, Webinar Wednesday. And here we are with the Leading Edge podcast and webinar. This is the webinar portion of what we're doing. I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm so excited for our conversation today as we talk about reaching out, locking arms with our neighbors and our friends so that we can together elevate this industry and make it better. This is to be an interactive webinar. So just to make sure that you know that you have the questions, we have the discussion and the answers, but we're going to let you go first with your questions. You're going to have a lot of questions about what we're talking about. It's going to strike your fancy. You're really going to read this and look at it and say, oh my gosh, no, I've got more questions. Okay, no, wait a second. That even leads to more questions. To make sure you understand how this interaction is going to happen, go into the comments section. We're live streaming on Facebook and YouTube and on StreamYard. With this live streaming platform, we want to know where it is you're joining us from today. So go into the comments and let us know where you're joining us from. What is your shop name? What's your city? What's your state? And where are you joining us from? Is it from the StreamYard, the link that comes to your email? So everybody here is registered and they come in directly from that StreamYard link, or are we reaching out and gathering more from Facebook or more from YouTube? There's always notices that goes out and tells everybody, hey, we're live, join us live, we're now on. And for those of you who are here for the live event, we're doing these on Wednesdays at the exact same time, at the exact same channel. I refer back to Batman, when Batman was the same bat channel, the same bat time. So here we are, BNC Auto Center, San Jose, California. Stephen, so glad you are here with us today. Thank you very much for joining us. And for everybody else that is here with us as well, thank you very much. We're glad to be here with you. My guest today, we've got a couple more popping in. Katie, Jennifer is our coach. Can't wait to learn more. Sager & Sons Auto in Boise, Idaho. Oh, that's awesome, Katie. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. And speaking of, great introduction into our guest is Jennifer. Jennifer is a coach and trainer here with the Institute. She's one of the head facilitators for the Gear Performance Group and has been with the industry for a very long time. You have a shop in New York.
I do.
Yeah. What's your shop in New York? What's the footprint of that look like?
Service Plus Automotive. We have 4 technicians, 1 current location. We're discussing becoming an MSO, so an exciting time for us.
Nice. And how do you find time to run the shop as well as all the coaching and training and travel and visits that happen with the GPG? How do you do all that?
Well, I follow the GPG advice and I delegate and elevate. So I've got a fantastic staff here that handles the majority of the day-to-day activities, and elevated them into positions that they can take on that responsibility. And we're just kicking butt.
Oh, that's awesome. Jennifer, there is a shop I'm aware of that's for sale that you might be interested in. We're going to have a conversation. I'll send you over some details on that one.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, very cool. And joining as well today is Cindy Reason. Cindy is from Alaska, the great state of Alaska. Absolutely gorgeous. I was there in February. Which,
that's the cold
Cindy,
time.
it is a cold time. It was my birthday, in fact. I was there in February. I got snowed out in Las Vegas, had to drive to Los Angeles to catch a flight to get up into Anchorage, Alaska. I barely made it in time for that Napa Auto Care conference the next morning. You remember that? I was on
Yes,
at
I
8 a.m.
do. Yes, everybody
Oh
was
my
wondering if you were going to make it. We were watching the weather and everything.
Well, to be snowed, I was snowed out in Las Vegas. The irony is
Yeah.
I'm stuck in Vegas because it's snowing. I'm trying to go to Alaska. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Cindy, Front Line Automotive. Are you in Fairbanks, right?
In Fairbanks, which is the center of the state, when we're considered the golden city of the state. So
Yes.
the golden heart of Alaska.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
here I was there in February and it was gorgeous. I've got to get there in the summer when things are blooming, because if it's gorgeous when there's snow everywhere and the trees are there, it's got to be just outstanding in the summer.
And you need to get into the center of the state. Anchorage is nothing compared to the Fairbanks area. I'm a little biased, but you know.
Yeah, there was once upon a time that I was driving a Sprinter van all over the world, and we had plans. I was coming to Alaska.
And you didn't make it.
Didn't make it. Plans got thwarted, but that's how things go. We make our plans, and then God says, "Ha ha ha ha." That's
I got
cute.
a joke for you.
Yeah. Wait till you see what's next. No, that's very cool. That's very cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. And Cindy, what is the current look of your shop right now? What does that look like? Like Jennifer's got the 4 techs. Where are you at?
Yep. So we are a little bit different. We've got 3 different buildings, and our main building is where our office is, and in the back of our office is our shop, or is our parts room, and then the other 2 buildings have 4 bays each, and we have 4 technicians. So each technician gets 2 bays. We have 2 alignment racks. Everything is set up so that each one runs independently.
Wow. Oh, that's great. So as a technician is working on one vehicle, they can have one on the rack. So while they're waiting on parts, you're hopefully not pushing in and out all that often.
Right. In Alaska, we are at the end of the food chain, basically. So it takes longer to get parts. So there's times where we're waiting 3-4 days to get a part. So it's nice to have that option of keeping a vehicle on the rack after it's torn down. Most of the time, you always run into something. When you tear it down, you think you have everything, and then you tear it down and, oh, nope, I don't have this. So
oh my gosh, yeah.
It's really beneficial to have the 2 lifts per technician.
Yeah, that's really nice. And 3 to 4 days, really, in the grand scheme, it's not that long. I thought you were going to be in like 1 week, 2 week, 3 week timelines.
Well, there's
3 to 4
times where
days
that happens, but we really try to, source as close as possible and get it as quickly as possible.
Well, and John, I know I have a real good friend, John Villa Automotive in San Luis Obispo, California. He has more parts in his shop than the local Napa Auto Parts store.
Oh, wow. If I only had space.
Oh, see, okay, yep. That he has a massive building, building. I think he's 20 lifts or so, and he's open 7 days a week. And when you're open on the weekend because somebody broke down, you got to be able to fix it. So he's got almost like 1 starter, 1 alternator of 900 million different things that'll work. Yeah. So I wondered if your parts department, are you pretty loaded or are you pretty light?
It's fairly light. We do a lot of chassis work here in Alaska because of our potholes, which I went to Boston, and Boston's worse. I never thought I'd find a place worse, but Boston was worse.
Wow.
But we are really known for our dirt roads, our potholes, and all of that. So we do a lot of chassis. So our chassis parts is what we hold on to here. Otherwise, we'll get it from our local stores. Okay.
And is your parts stores, do they keep fairly well stocked because of the distance? Yeah, I would imagine they would. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, so I want to go with Cindy, you. I want to go. Sorry. Go ahead.
Cindy's being a little humble. So they now have 2 locations. So this year they purchased the 2nd location. So
last month.
Yes,
we purchased the 2nd.
Yes.
So congrats. Is it in Fairbanks? Is it close to you?
It's about 4 miles down the road. And
Yes.
and it's basically the same size, 8 lifts. I've got 7 technicians over there.
Oh,
Um, and it is primarily we do the FedEx and
fleet.
Amazon trucks and the fleets. Yeah, we do more fleet over there. And that was my biggest reason for buying it, was because it wasn't a direct competition to what we do over here at Frontline. So now I'm catering to both in 2 different locations.
Oh, that's phenomenal. So you got
Yeah,
Frontline
it's been a
Fleet.
whirlwind.
That is a whirlwind. Frontline
Yeah.
Fleet and Frontline Automotive.
Yeah, well, we kept the name of the other business
What's it? Can you say what
separate.
it's called?
It's Gabe's Truck and Auto. So we're working on that one. Like I said, we just took it over September 2nd, and yeah, it's been very, very hectic around here.
Yep. And
Thanks,
everybody's still friends. We're all still friends. Or everybody's still happy?
Yeah, we're still married, my husband and I.
That's good news. That's good news. That's going in the right direction.
Yes.
Well, congrats to that. We'll talk about that here in a second. I want to go back in some time here. 88 miles an hour, flux capacitor, DeLorean.
Yeah.
When did you get started in the industry, and what does that look like?
We bought Frontline Automotive in 2017. And before that, I was a mortgage loan officer and manager.
Oh, we could talk mortgages, Cindy. We could talk mortgages.
No.
I had a season of life. I was a mortgage broker too. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, and the reason of getting out of that is because everything changes daily. And then my husband, he was working heavy equipment at a gold mine and was gone for a month at a time. He'd be gone for a month, home for 2 weeks, gone for a month, home for 2 weeks. So a friend of ours said, hey, I know a business that's opening, and we checked into it and got it for a steal, and started off with just 4 bays, 2 technicians, 1 building, and grew from there.
So you built a second building?
We were in like a strip mall type build, 4 buildings all next to each other.
Okay.
And so we just kept acquiring. So in 2020, when COVID hit, the building next to us was a kids' romper room, and they closed because they couldn't have kids in there.
Yeah.
And so we ended up moving over to that one. And then in 2022, the other building, the peak tenants left, and so we moved over to that one. So we ended up with 3. And then they demolished the one next to us. So, and then we ended up buying. So
more parking lot?
That was it. We were not willing to share our parking lot with any other tenant. So we didn't have the space for other tenants to have parking. So that was what brought us around to this.
Well, congrats. It feels like it was just a heartbeat ago. 2017 was like 2 minutes ago, but it
feels like it.
8 years ago?
Yeah. It's hard to believe that it's been that long.
Oh my gosh, time flies. That is fabulous. And congrats on the expansion. It feels like, or sounds like, rapid expansion.
It was, yeah. Ever since COVID, we've been expanding every 2 years.
Oh, congrats. Yeah, that's
I think awesome. I'm done for a while.
Oh no, you've got 24 months, and then we're gonna kick it back up. Oh, no, wait a second. It's October, so you have 23 months.
No pressure, Jimmy.
No, none whatsoever. But in about 11 months, we'll start looking.
Okay, you do that.
I'll do that. Okay. Well, and congrats on the expansion. That is just absolutely phenomenal. I love the expansion into the fleet industry. I mean, that's so just, I mean, you're able to work on the same vehicles. You just turn them and burn them and love it and keep on going. So at what point along your journey, here you're coming from gold mining, heavy equipment, mortgage brokers, a lot of paperwork pushing, you jump into automotive and discover very quickly, we're not in Kansas anymore. This is not familiar language. What did you do?
Especially for me, because my husband's got the technology, and he understands the business and all of that. So he's the one who started it. He was working it. He was doing the office work. He was teching. He was supervising. He was payroll, HR. He was doing all of it.
Oh boy.
And then 4 months into it, he says, I'm going to have to hire somebody. And I said, well, I'm not paying somebody to do something I can do.
Yeah.
So then I quit my job and came over. And then I realized I've never done HR before. I've never done payroll. I don't know what these numbers mean. You know, yeah, I know how to read a P&L, but what does it really mean for the business? So we had gone to a Napa convention in Vegas. Did not get snowed in.
Was that in the one in
2017? The Expo, Napa Expo, and I think it was 2017, shortly after.
Supposed to have it in 20, but they canceled that, and it was in 21
Yeah,
or 22?
No, it was 2017.
Okay.
The year that we bought it.
Okay.
And they connected us. We were invited by our Napa Auto Care people that are local here, some of our local people here, and got us into, RLO was presenting. We went to a couple of their meetings and decided, this is something that could help us. And because of the way that RLO was structured, we couldn't be in a group process because I had too many other people here locally close to me that were in the group. But I did a one-on-one coaching with John Waffler, and he was a lifesaver. He is the reason we were able to do what we're doing every couple of years, because he taught us everything from our numbers to expand, to how to bring in marketing, how to, bring in more customers. It was just the one-on-one with John was extraordinary.
Nice.
That was our lifesaver.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. And Jennifer, you worked with John Waffler for quite a few years as well, didn't you?
I did, almost 20.
Oh well, that's just a hard.
We all miss him.
Yeah, John is. We wish him well. He's doing great in the industry. He's still with Straightaway Auto.
Correct.
I believe he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing with them. Jennifer, do you know?
He's coaching and training with them. Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. So your advice, Cindy, to anybody that's starting a shop would be get a coach as quickly as you can?
As quickly as you can. The sooner the better, because you're not going to be wasting money if you're getting the education.
Yes, education, so important. Yeah. So at what point along the road here did you get into the group? Because I think you're in a group in it right now, aren't you?
Yep, I'm in group 6 with Jennifer.
Group 6, okay.
Yeah. Group 6 rocks. Gotta throw that out there.
Yeah, well, definitely. And are we recruiting? We're trying to get more into group 6. Yes. We have a couple of spaces available, maybe.
We do.
So at what point were you able to transition into the group? Because there are a few others that are there in Fairbanks that are also with the Institute, that were also with RLO. How did that look like? When
they had the summit in 2023, I think it was, the 2023 summit, we went to that in Florida. And I met Jennifer there. That was my first time of meeting her. And she said, oh, we've got to get you into a group. We've got to get you into a group. And so she did her little magic, because she is the queen of magic. She can go back into the back and do her thing, and poof, we're here. So we got the call saying, inviting us into to one of Jennifer's groups, and we jumped on it. And I have no regrets whatsoever. Love our group process. It's totally different than the one-on-one. So the one-on-one, you're meeting with John once or twice a month, depending on what your needs are. But with the group, you're doing group visits, which I volunteered right away. I said, I want you all to come and tell me what's wrong with my business. come
Love it.
share. And so you get to group visits, you get the feedback from the group of what they see as your business, where your books are, where your people are, what your facility looks like, what are your hazards, what are your goods, your bads, your uglies. That part of the process is my favorite, is getting to go and do the visiting of the shops and seeing how other shops run their business, how they look, how they're set up. And if you come back with ideas of what you can make little changes to yours as well to improve your business. So
Nice.
that is one of the biggest features that I love about the group. Then you also have the composite partner or two. I have two. We meet every week. We go over numbers. We go over homework. We hold each other accountable. We say we're going to do this, and if it's not done, you get a tongue lashing.
It's one of my favorite words in the group process is accountability.
Accountability. Yeah. And that's something, with just a daily coat or just a straight coat, you don't learn that accountability.
Okay.
And that's something I never really understood until Jennifer and the group process. And now I'm learning how to hold my staff accountable. And that is making a huge difference with them teaching me how to hold me accountable. I'm now teaching them how to hold them accountable. So it's a domino effect.
Well, and you have more people involved on a regular basis. So the group process typically has, 16 to 20 members in it. So you're not only listening to one coach or one shop owner, you're getting the feedback of, multiply that by 16 times, and the ideas and the history and what they've learned going through different processes. So it's almost like having your own board of directors that you can access for any time, any problem, any question, and getting some good sound advice from multiple people. That's why the group process works so well.
Yeah. I've heard it where a group member will bring into the group and say, "Oh my gosh, there's this huge red tape. It's this giant mountain. I don't even know how I'm going to get over it. This is such a big thing. Help me. I'm paralyzed. I don't know what to do." And the group comes together and says, "Okay, well, Joe had this problem 2 years ago, and Cindy had this problem last year, but Jennifer solved it just a couple months ago. So here's his experience. Here's this experience. Here's this experience." And it brings that mountain down to a molehill very quickly, where the group can say, "All right, Jimmy, we got this. Come on. You've already got that solved. That was yesterday. Let's go. More to do.
Let's go. Move on."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good. So even when you go visit other shops, you come away with value that says, I need to look at this in my shop, this in my shop, this in my shop to make sure that I'm optimized as well. How many times did you go out and visit other shops before they actually came to Alaska to visit you, Cindy?
I think there was only one shop before me, one or two.
One or two visits?
Actually, one or two visits before me. Actually, I think it was just one.
You joined in
last September. It was last September that they came here, and I joined in May, I think, of 23.
23, yeah. So there would have been 3.
So there'd been, a couple of them.
Yep.
But it was, it was nice to do that a little bit before mine, so that I kind of had an idea of what I was needing to get prepared for. Also, you want to prepare, but you also want them to see this is the life here. So you don't want to hide things, or, you can't hide things because they really do dive deep. And they talk to your employees, and your employees usually feel pretty good about opening up to other people versus, yourself. So it's a really nice process.
Oh, that's good. I love the coaching process leading into the group process, because it allows you the opportunity to get your data in order, to have it pumping the right information, the right order, the right way, so that when you do get into the group process and you're opening up your books to everybody, it's not as embarrassing.
And everybody understands them.
Everybody understands, because I think there's a few shops that I can think of that had they gone directly into the group environment, their P&L was so bad that
Oh
holding
yeah.
them accountable to a level that they didn't understand yet, it would have been embarrassing, and they probably would have left the group and never come back.
Yeah, I could see where that would happen. And thankfully I had John working with me ahead of time. So
Yeah. So you were
I was
ready.
already at standards.
Yeah, you were there. You were ready, prepared to go into that group environment.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome that they were able to come and visit your shop too. When they left, how many items, how much stuff did they say,
Oh,
hey, look at this, look at this, look at this. What do you think about this? What did your actionizer look like when they left?
we're still a year out and I'm still working on it. But, you know, a lot of it's just minor little tweaks. And I
Sure.
have very old buildings. And so there was a lot of things that I already knew about, you know, that I have to work on. And you just got to take a little piece at a time and dwindle it down, but
Yes.
never looking at that actionizer. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
key. You
Yeah.
got to continually look at it and take something off of it, you know, and work your way through it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Here's a year later and you're still working on it. That's phenomenal. Jennifer, talk
Still
about
got
the
it.
talk about the GPG program, Jennifer. What is this? Why is it so powerful, this group environment?
Well, the structure of the program is exactly what Cindy had said. Is we have 3 in-person meetings a year. So we actually go to one of the member shops. Part of that meeting or one of those days is evaluating the shop. So we're breaking into 4 different teams, and those 4 teams are facility, so looking at anything facility, brick and mortar, office admin, so we're looking at office systems, SOPs, personnel files, parts handling, marketing, anything that would be office related. We have an RO audit team who does a deep dive. They actually audit 50 repair orders and looking for things like proper gross profit percentages on parts and labor, proper documentation of the 3 C's, the DVI process and following the 300% rule. And then we have a personnel team. So each member of the host shop team is interviewed, and we're looking for things like regular communication. Do they have quarterly conversations and quarterly reviews? Do they have team meetings? Is there a path set up for success for each individual employee? Are goals shared? Things of those nature, just to help increase the overall communication with the entire shop. So typically, when a member comes in, they're in the process for 2 to 3 years before they host a shop review. And that's done strategically to make sure that the host shop knows what they're getting into, knows exactly what their expectations are, but also that we are looking and digging deep into that shop's review. So we're not talking about the same items at every shop review. And that's the expectation, is you're going through these, 2 years, so maybe 6 or 7 shop reviews where you're a participant, and now they're coming to your shop, so you're knowing what they're looking for. And the expectation is that every time you come back from a group meeting, you're making those improvements in your shop. So we're not discussing those same things every time we go to a host shop. So that's the shop review process. And the other day and a half of the meeting is training. So currently, Aaron Woods and I are the 2 group facilitators, and we're providing training in every area: marketing, DVI, scheduling and dispatching, employee relations, marketing, financial forecasting. So we look at what our members are needing within the group process, and then creating training around that need to make sure that we're elevating our members.
Oh, I love
Um,
it.
in addition to the shop review, we have a financial composite. So each member is entering their financial data into a portal, and that portal takes that information and breaks it down into many different ways. So we're measuring things like gross profit percentages, effective labor rate, expense percentage, to get to what our desired net profit is. And my groups know, and I say this every single time we do a composite review, the most important number to me is net profit. yes, it matters how we get there, but if you're a 20-25% net profit shop, then we have very small tweaks to do. If you come in and you're a 2% net profit shop, well, we've got a lot of work to do to get sales in line, expenses in line, and gross profit percentages in line. So we're looking at the financial data to preserve the overall financial health of the business. And then the members and the group facilitator are holding those members accountable to those standards. And like Cindy explained, you have a composite partner that you're meeting with. It's required monthly. Most of our shops are meeting weekly, and they're holding each other accountable. So it's not coming from the talking head at the front of the room, the teacher in a classroom setting. It's coming from their peers, and their peers are doing the exact same type of work that each member is doing. So sometimes that peer-to-peer accountability can carry more weight than a facilitator or a coach, because there's no excuses to give to a peer, because they are doing the exact same business and the exact same work that the member is on a day-to-day basis. So anyone who's talked to me about the group process knows how passionate I am about it, because I was a group member. I started in, I'm going to date myself here, 2004, and with John Waffler and RLO training, transitioned into the Institute and had the opportunity to become a group facilitator. And I love the process, because we see people coming into the process with limited knowledge on certain areas, and then watching their business grow and expand, just like Cindy's has this past year. Maybe it would have been possible. It probably wouldn't have been possible without the knowledge of training and coaching this quickly.
Right.
So just watching members grow and succeed and help each other is very, very rewarding, and one of the pieces that I just absolutely love the most.
Oh yeah, for sure. And hey, and let's open this up to the audience. Anybody listening, if you've got questions for Jennifer or you got questions for Cindy, go ahead and type them in the comments and we'll address each one of your questions. Some of the questions I have, you talked about some of these shops. Okay, wait, back up. Man, my mind's going 90 miles an hour. So I think the only correct answer is it depends. But I'm going to pose this to both of you, Cindy and Jennifer. If a shop comes to and joins the Gear Performance Group and they're at a 2 to 3% net profit area, or maybe they're at 7% net profit, how quickly do they transition from 2 to 3 to 23 or 22 or 20? How quickly do they make that transition?
So I'm going to say it depends on how quickly the member is able to make the improvements they need to make. So if you're listening to the advice, you're taking the feedback, and you're making the needed changes, you're going to move pretty quickly. Again, net profit comes from sales, gross profit, and expense control.
Yes.
So if you are at a low level of sales and we don't have a lot of sales being generated, we can have a very high gross profit percentage, but we're not outrunning our expenses because we're at below a break even. So that would be an area that we would focus on marketing and the DVI process and the sales process to make sure that we can increase our sales level. Shops coming in who have high expenses and low gross profit percentages, that's typically a pretty easy way, or an easy thing to fix, is, we implement a parts matrix, we implement a labor matrix or a labor rate increase, and just have that increase of profitability pretty instantaneously. So it does depend on the situation, but there is an answer that the group and the facilitator can absolutely help with if the member's going to take the feedback and they're going to enact on the information.
And Jennifer, I think that's exactly the right answer. It does depend. It depends on the person. Will they implement or not? Mm-hmm. Are they just going to gather the information, get the inspiration, and never do anything with it? Or will they do something with it? All right. So,
and that typically doesn't last long in the group process, because the members are saying, we've been there, we've done this, and what you think is going to happen, like labor rate increases.
Right.
There's no way I can raise my labor rate by $10. Well, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did
Yeah.
it. Hands go up in the room and nothing happened from a customer standpoint. So yes, you can go back to your shop and do it. And now you're getting that peer-to-peer accountability and not just a coach or a facilitator.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Cindy, do you have a story about raising your labor rate?
Not so much on me, but we do have a member that we have fought with for quite a long time, ever since I started.
Okay.
And they finally did it, and he did it in a big jump too. It wasn't just the 5 or 10. I think he went up $20, and he came back and said, finally, and said, nobody said anything. We said, see, we told you. So just do it.
Yeah.
So, and that was the whole entire group coaching him and giving him the power, trying to give him the power to do that. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I want to lay a little foundation here, because a lot of people will hear this and they'll say, oh, well, all I have to do is just raise my labor rate. Is that true, Jennifer?
No.
To become profitable? No.
Is that all I have to do?
Because
No.
what I also said was making sure that you have good gross profit percentages and expense control. You can have great sales and great GP, but then spend it all out the back door and you're still left with very limited net. So part of our composite reporting is looking at, I don't know how many, 40 points of expense categories, and making sure that not only is your total expense within a range, but also each individual expense, because we have benchmarks for that. Yep. So if we get a member, again, the power of the peer group is saying, oh, there's no way that I can, decrease my dues and subscriptions from this to this. Well, now we have a group average of this is the amount of dollars that the majority of the group is paying, or this is the percentage of their sales that they're paying. So yes, you can. You just need to be diligent and follow within a certain guideline. Yeah,
so you really can't pull the wool over anybody's eyes. Everybody is marching the same direction, and they're not going to let you do it.
Correct.
Oh, I love it. And I also love that with the Institute, we'll analyze your business to say, what kind of business do you want? And depending on the kind of business that you want, and down the road, and how many vacations do you want, and what kind of pay do you want, and how do you want to take care of your employees, and what kind of benefits do you want for your employees? Okay, well, here's what you're charging today. And, if you just tweak it a little bit, you can do it. Or maybe you have to tweak it a lot, and then you can do it. And maybe it's a huge jump that you have to take in phases, because it takes a little bit of time to go from wherever you are today to where you need to be to operate the business that you want to have. So it's not always, it's not always about just, raise your labor rate and everything's fine. No. There's so much more that goes into it, but nobody ever wants to talk about that. All these coaching companies are out there and say, raise your labor rate, charge for shop supplies and raise your labor rate. Okay, but there's more to it than that.
Well, again, some of the things that I've already mentioned are the DVI process. Are we identifying the work to be completed? Are we estimating it? Are we presenting it? And are we having success with turning that into a repair? Marketing. Yes. Are we attracting the right client into our shop? So it's more than just pricing. It's the overall shop management and running of the shop. Do you have a service advisor on the front counter who is pleasant from a customer service standpoint and saying yes to customers, or are they driving people away? So these are all things that we look at, we train on, we create an owner's job description for the owner to have their own self-accountability with, I am going to listen to phone calls, I am going to do DVI audits, I am going to do RO audits, I am going to look at my profitability. And again, then you've got the peer-to-peer accountability on top of that. I'm becoming a broken record right now, but you can see how it all works all together.
Oh, it does. And it's talking about the DVI. Jennifer, you have a DVI that you work in your shops. What are you using?
I have TechMetric. For my
Are you using a TechMetric DVI as well?
I am using a TechMetric DVI.
All right. Cindy, what are you doing?
Yeah, TechMetric as well.
Nice. But here's my advice, because I pounded this drum for 4 years when I was with Auto Vitals and doing digital vehicle inspections. And here's my conclusion from it all. Every shop needs to do a DVI. Whatever program that you that works in your shop, that follows your process, your procedure, that you're able to implement and that the technicians will use and document, is what you should implement in your shop. Whether it is TechMetric or Auto Vitals or any of the other DVIs, if it's a program that your shop will utilize and use and implement and follow, that's the program that's best for you.
And we get the question a lot of, why are we doing the DVI? It's just to sell more services. It's absolutely not to sell more services. It is to create trust and transparency with our customers.
Yes.
Because as the auto industry, we don't have the best reputation. The trust level in the general consumer is pretty low when it comes to auto repair. So we are absolutely innovating the industry within the group process to make sure that we are putting out the reason why and showing the customer, this is your vehicle. We're not making this up. Here's a picture of your actual vehicle with the actual part and an explanation as to why it fails. So yes, everyone, if that's your takeaway today, get a DVI process in place.
I totally agree. I've got a quick story, and then I want to hear one from each of you as well. I was auditing a shop, and we were looking at their DVIs, and this is way back in the day. And the technician had said in the DVI, need to replace the battery. No other reasons. It may have been in the description that it said 330 cranking amps, and it was supposed to be a 600 cranking amp, cold crank amp battery. And there was no picture. They had already sent it to the customer. The customer denied it. And I said to the owner, I says, hey, talk to the tech, see if you can get a picture of the little report, the readout that shows they're really close. They're one cold snap away from being stuck in that parking lot. And the technician took a picture of that. They sent it to the client. Client approved it right then and there. Have you ever had a situation where by documenting and showing the customer, this is your vehicle, this is your part, this is what's leaking, worn, torn, frayed, or broken, this is what you are seeing. Whether you have me fix it or not, doesn't matter to me, but you need to be taking care of your vehicle. Have you had a situation where you were surprised how quickly it turned around that the client did approve all the work that needed to be done to be safe on the roads? Cindy, you first, and then Jennifer, you.
We had a customer who had just had his vehicle at a Brand X shop 3-4 months prior to bringing it to us. And he had all new ball joints, all new sway arms, all of that kind of stuff put in at the Brand X. But he was having issues with tire wear and what have you, so he brought it into us, and we did the DVI on it, and his ball joints were bad. And, you can't tell me that they're bad. I just had them fixed. Well, no, and so my guys took a video of that movement and said, this is not how it's supposed to be. And that's, then he ended up going back to the other shop, but that's just fine. It's under warranty.
Yes.
But he understood that we were not trying to sell him a line. We showed him that they are bad. You need to take it back to Brand X and have them warranty it.
Oh, I love it.
But then we get all his business after that because we showed him the DVI. We built trust. That DVI built the trust.
Yes.
So he did get it taken care of there because it was under warranty, and I don't blame him, but we've had him ever since.
And that's the Paul Harvey. I wanted to know the rest of the story.
The rest of the story
is that he came back to you and has been a faithful customer ever since.
Yep.
I love that. Jennifer, you have a DVI story?
I have plenty of stories similar to Cindy. The one that I tell most often is when we went from the paper forms, so the ones that the technicians would actually click off, to the DVI, we started to take pictures of fluids. And I had been I was a service advisor at the time, and this was a long time ago. And I'd been talking to this customer that you're going to keep the vehicle. Your goal is to have the vehicle reach 250,000 miles. So these fluid services are needed. Your fluids are dirty. I never had a picture to show him. Yes. First digital vehicle inspection we did, we provided a picture. And he calls me up. And he's like, I want to do all my fluids. Like, you know that these are the same services that we've been talking about for a year, correct? The
Yeah,
same
for
exact
10 years we've been
services,
talking about this.
but because he had a picture and he could see clean versus compromised or dirty or the test strip, then he wanted to do all the services because his vehicle needed it. And because we had a picture, it was more convincing. So yes, and plenty of more stories like Cindy had said, where you have a video or a picture of something, or like, oh, that leak is really bad. I can see it now. And there is movement in that component. So absolutely.
Yep. I had I was taking my truck into the shop, and they always did the DVI on it, and they always, everything was approved on it, and so I really took really good care of my truck. And then finally one of this times, Cody comes in. He's just so excited to show me that I need new shocks and struts all the way around on the truck because they're starting to seep. He was like, "Oh, look! See, I have a picture." I was like, "Oh crap! All right, yes, it's approved, but I can't pay for it today. I got to do that on the next trip because it was like $1,200. I just didn't have that on me.
Oh yeah.
So I had to come back and we did it the next oil change. And I was driving so much that it was only another 2 months and I was back in for my 5,000 mile service. So not a big deal, but the DVIs, man, what a great tool.
It builds the trust.
Yeah.
It builds the trust between you and your customers.
It really does. It really does. Oh, and at the shops, a lot of shops that I talk to, Jennifer, when we talk about changing all the fluids, we call that a royal flush.
Yes.
All the fluids. We're changing all the fluids. Yeah, that's phenomenal. And to have a truck go 250,000, I was 225 and I sold it. I shouldn't have. I really wish I would have kept it, but never mind. Water under the bridge. We'll get another truck later.
It's gone.
Yep, it's
We're
gone.
crying over it.
Get it back.
Yep.
Get it back. Probably not.
You don't need it back. You don't need it back, Jimmy.
No, I don't. And I'm now living in an area where it's going to snow and I'm going to need 4-wheel drive, and it was a 2-wheel drive truck. So
yeah.
Snow
I
tires.
drove a 2-wheel drive. Yeah, I drove a 2-wheel drive for years. So in Alaska,
it can be done.
So
Yes.
It can be done. And I've done it.
Tires.
I've done it. And I had Nat King tires on it that you could put the studs into it.
Yep.
But I never did. It just looked like meaty mud tires on a 2-wheel drive truck. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. Well, I love the group process. I love that you have been in there, Cindy, and it has just been such a boon to your business. And Jennifer, thank you for facilitating these group processes and meeting with these shops and the shop owners. The exponential growth is so wonderful. It's just phenomenal. I love seeing that growth. And these shops, they really do bond together. I've seen those that are in these groups bond tighter than family. They would rather go on vacations with their composite partners or their group members than they would to go with their brothers or sisters or family. I've seen it. I've witnessed it.
I'm part of that. When I belong to Group 2, I still vacation with some of the Group 2 members, or we'll go to meetings early and just to do some social fun things. So Cindy and I were very fortunate to get to spend some time together in California last January and had a lot of fun on the beach. And so absolutely, those bonds are built and they last.
They are.
Yeah. And only Alaska and New York could go to California in January on the beach.
I think it was hot.
I think it was hot.
Ones in capris and shorts.
I would have froze. I would have froze. I'm a desert guy, so I like the heat, and that would have just killed me. But you guys, oh gosh, that's fun. That's very cool.
We had our feet in the water, didn't we?
We did. Pictures to prove it.
That is awesome. That is so cool. So cool. Well, very cool. Well, Jennifer and Cindy, I want to land this plane and talk about if you were able to change anything in the industry. Magic wand, you can't wish for more wishes. What would you wish for that would be a change in the industry? Jennifer, you first, and then Cindy to you.
That there is power in collaboration with other shop owners. We have even people who are new to our coaching program or the group process thinking, well, I'm coming in and I don't know anything and I'm going to be such a sponge, but yet they turn out to be the expert in an area. So everyone has experiences that other people are going to benefit from. So don't be intimidated by the group process. Don't be intimidated by coaching. You're going to network. You're going to create that bond and that accountability between you and some other owners. So that would be my magic wand, is to sprinkle that fairy dust all over everyone and say, come into the process, because you really do improve your business exponentially very, very quickly.
Yeah. So it's eliminating the fear.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Come check it out. Come enjoy. I think once somebody attends a group event, you can't get them away.
There's no turning back.
No.
There's no turning back.
I actually had. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jen.
I actually had that experience last week. We had a coaching client who was just coming to check out the group meeting at Group 5, and his words at the very end is, I'm in. I am not missing this opportunity ever again. Like, I want in. I want part of this process. Nothing's going to hold me back now, and my fear is gone.
Wow, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is very cool, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
okay.
To follow up with that, on the 2023 with the expo that we went to, the summit, there were group members from other groups, and this is before I was in a group, that actually, came over and pulled my husband and I into their circle. Everybody is willing to help everybody, whether you're in their group or not. And I've made some really close friends that are in other groups just from the summit and some of the other functions that we do as whole collaboration. Mm-hmm. And these people are phenomenal that are in these group processes. My biggest takeaway on it would be, I wish, if I had my wish, that the automotive industry did not have such a bad rap, that we didn't have to struggle and fight to prove ourselves. But I also feel that makes us a stronger community and a stronger business, because we are fighting our way through that stigmatism, and proving to our community that we are here for you and we're here to take care of you in an honest, open fashion. So that's my biggest thing.
Yeah. It's to spread that influence and elevate the industry as a whole to another higher level. Oh, I love that. Thank you. That's very powerful. Very powerful. Thank you very much, Cindy. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Really appreciate your insight and your input today as we talk about those things that are challenging us as an industry, challenging the automotive aftermarket. And those of you who are listening, whether you are here live or you're listening to the recording, if you've heard something that is fascinating and interesting and something that you would really like to grab a hold of and evaluate more, come visit us at wearetheinstitute.com. That's the Institute. That's us as a group. We have advisor program, managers program, coaching programs, gear programs, group programs, and then also legacy. If you're looking for legacy, like Cindy and Jennifer are at expanding the kingdom and becoming a multiple shop operator, we've got programs to be able to help you out. People that have been down that path before, they can come back and guide you so that you don't make the same mistakes they do. Or if you do come across those speed bumps, they're not as traumatic as you think they are. So if you're hearing something here that you'd like to know more, visit us at wearetheinstitute.com. My name is Jimmy Lee. I'm with the Institute, and this is the Leading Edge podcast webinar. And we'll see you guys again soon. Thank you very much. Get out your cell phones, because right after this, 30 seconds, we're going to show a QR code. Scan that QR code. That'll set us up with a meeting. We can sit down and evaluate your business to see what the Institute can do to help you elevate your business as well. We'll talk to you again soon. Jennifer, Cindy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.